Where are all the people? Ah, let's go just heal up. That can't be good. That's definitely very not good. So this is actually one of the things that happens here, is this village goes completely empty. Save for one little critter. Evil people attacked and took everyone away. Well, it kind of explains it. Do you have anything else to say? No. So, yeah, that's something that happened. So, now that we've done that little side trip, let's go back to the mountains. Oh, and this is something else that's important to remember, is that when you destroy these walls, they go away permanently. Which I find interesting, because everything else in this game respawns. Now, that is one thing that's kind of annoying, is that you're constantly switching both the sword and the ball that you're using. But I'll teach you guys a trick to reduce some of that frustration later on. Can't do it yet, though. Now, at least we're almost got a level up here. Okay, so those things are worth 10 experience, so that's pretty good. Yep, still have the rabbit boots equipped. Yeah, look at that. That took so many shots, and yet if I power up to level 2... Well, that didn't kill him, but... Yeah. The multi-hit of level 2 is really nice. So yeah, these icy patches here are the reason why I need the rabbit boots. At least for this part. So what ends up happening is if you go onto these things, you slide down them. Which, you know, it's not that good a thing to do if you're gonna slide into enemies. Yay, level up. And you can't really go back up them either. I can only get that far just running. But you can use the rabbit boots to avoid some of the momentum, because it doesn't work like regular ice in the slightest. They're supposed to be like ice hills. I know that seems kind of weird to do that, but that is actually intentional. There's in fact a specific spot where you have to do that to get anywhere. Or to get where you're supposed to go. And heck, earlier on, there was even somebody commenting in the game here that the rabbit boots aren't just for jumping around or something. I forget what they said already. My short-term memory sucks. Anywho, let's go in a cave. And get the wind sword going again. Got a funny feeling we'll need it. Let's go left. Actually, a neat trick is if you switch back to a different sword while those explosions are going, it'll change the color of the explosions. Oh, right, these things. I forget if their ability... See, because now we're already switching back to the wind sword. This does get a little annoying. Not gonna lie. But you don't really need to kill things if you don't want to. So, oh, an extra pair of warp boots. That's handy. Most of the enemies, thankfully, have a sort of pattern you can follow. And that pattern usually amounts to walking a little, stopping, then walking a little more. And sometimes firing when they stop. So it's just sort of a matter of learning these patterns, so that you can avoid running into them. Anyway, let's go try the other path in this cave. How did I know there's gonna be a wall? Yeah, I should have kept it equipped. What are you gonna do? Back to the wind sword. This is actually one of the worst places for this. Later on, it's usually not as big a deal. And then once you get the lightning sword, pretty much everything is vulnerable against that. Actually, I forget if they call it the thunder sword or the lightning sword. It's one of those. Nope, this time I should have changed. And yeah, I'm doing as hard as I can not to get hit by anything. Because I completely forget what poisons me and what doesn't. Okay, so that goes up to that cave. This mountain is kind of like a maze. It's actually one of the most complex areas of the game, rivaled only by the last two sections. Or I should say the second last two sections, because the very last section of the game is actually a piece of cake. As far as layout, anyways. Ah, there's Tornell. So I gotta get up there somehow. And I'm not really too concerned with getting items from chests. Part of the reason being that you don't typically find key items in them. Unless it's like... it's hard to explain. I just know that on this mountain there's not really any key items worth searching for. And this place is enough of a maze that I don't care to stay on it longer than I have to. Ugh. Well, let's look on the bright side. I'm gonna have a lot of money after all this. Okay. Because that's the wall I blew through earlier. So let's go back this way. Gripping commentary of me looking at a wall that I had destroyed earlier. Ow. Here I was about to change, and I'm like, no, it's wind sword for this person. Or creature, monster, whatever. It's evil, it needs to die. Ow. Oh, I'm surprised I haven't been poisoned yet. Certainly been hit enough times to qualify. Okay. What? Teach me magic! Grr. And I can't pick that up because I have too many items. Yeah, I'll use a medical herb. Ooh, magic rings. Those are actually handy to get, because they're usually pretty expensive to buy, and what they do is they actually refill some of your magic. And magic's a hell of a lot more useful than most of the items. Well, save for the warp boots and the antidotes, but... Okay, so it looks like the tornado bracelet's hidden somewhere in these caves. I kind of feel like using the warp boots just to go back to the beginning, almost. Okay, let's start dodging things. If they're not immediately in my way, I'm not going to try to go after them. So that way led back around. So... Oh, there's the poison. Had to happen sooner or later. Actually, before I cure the poison, let's just get these things out of the way. Okay. Because I don't want to cure my poison and then get poisoned again. So let's try going this way. Now that was a dead end, so we don't want to go there. And that's a very... well... Okay, I'm back here. Oops, need a little more speed. Okay, I think I have to go up this one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the one you have to actually go up, because there's no other way to get up here. Doesn't take a lot of practice to get used to switching the sword and ball repeatedly. But as I'll show you guys later, once I have the appropriate items to do so, unless you want to use the level 3 powers once you get access to them, there's actually a method around having to switch both the sword and the ball. We'll get there. We're not quite there yet. And yeah, I think this is just one big middle area, so... And there we go, Tornado Bracelet. So I now have the 3rd level of power. Oh yeah. Not gonna work against these things because they're invulnerable to the wind sword, but... Now, as you just saw... I switched back to the fire sword and the ball of fire so I could get my 2nd level shots with the sword of fire. Because obviously, if I don't have that going, I get power 1. But now if I had these 2 things equipped, I get level 3. If I have that equipped with the ball of fire, I'm back down to level 1. But... Haha! That's right, I have no ball or bracelet equipped, but I'm getting 2nd level power on my Sword of Wind. This is not a bug. This is a method by which, once you get the bracelets for a particular sword, if you don't equip anything in the power slot, you will get the 2nd level by default. Now, right now, this isn't going to be too helpful, because it means if I want 2nd level with the fire sword, I have to actually have the ball of fire going. But if I want 2nd level with the Sword of Wind, I still have to disable the ball of fire. And it's typically not a good idea to keep the bracelets going unless you really intend to use them, just because of the fact that it burns mana to use the 3rd level power. But once we have both the Tornado Bracelet and the Fire Bracelet... I forget if it's Fire Bracelet or something else, but once I have both bracelets, then I can just leave nothing equipped in the power slot and can switch between these 2 swords without having to worry about having a power item going and still getting the 2nd level of attack with it. So... very handy trick to help reduce some of that frustration from switching things all the time. So I'm probably not going to need the rabbit boots anymore, so let's just get the refresh going. Let's go find Tornell again so he can teach me more magic. I just have to remember how to get there. I think this is the right way. Man, I got a lot of money going here. So is it this way or this way? I sort of know where I am. I mean, really sort of. I guess I didn't need to equip the bracelet. I think I have to go up this way. Are we there? There we go. Surprise! I already got to you once. Oh yes, the teleport spell. Now, I basically have the warp boots in a spell form. What's ironic about this is that there is actually that fast way back as I showed you guys, but screw that, just teleport. And I teleported here because it's got the cheapest inn that I can actually visit right now. Because the village of Leaf is kind of deserted. So I think at this point... Let me see here. Save my game. I think at this point... Yeah. There's really nowhere else to go, so aside from that northern area that we couldn't go to the first time. So, let's go back. Kill some dudes along the way. Because the Sword of Fire just burns through them. I don't think I took a single point of damage there. I took a point of damage there for sure. There! Now I can go up here. Now this is interesting. It's kind of like a town in a building on this mountain. Because yeah, it says inn on the outside there, but... yeah. Trail is blocked off and strange people wander there. It's quite weird. Okay. Don't talk about food, you're gonna make me hungry. This is something that's just a minor bother to me when it comes to gaming, but if you're gonna name a character, make them useful in some way. This Nadir character, never mentioned ever again. All he is just a random NPC who just happens to have a name, who says to get rest, away, and to wake refreshed. That's it. Fair enough. I'm actually still pretty good, so don't need your inn. But if you sell some good stuff, $60 for a medical herb, $70 for an antidote. It's a good thing I already have all these things. Whoops, I think I accidentally just pushed the A button. Whoops. Didn't mean to buy that. Oh well. Yeah, I'll just use it right now. Totally wait. Oh, and I just, Okay, mental note, stop hitting random buttons. It's a bad idea. I'm talking about that person who just ran off to get rich quick. Okay, so Nadir does get mentioned once more, but that's it. Captured by strange people and put in a cave. Also saw people from Leaf and being forced to work. Now this is interesting because your own character is actually talking here. But this says so little in this game. Oh, there's Nadir again. Totally useless reference. And he's dead. Well, sorry, he's not dead. He's already dead. Yeah. Ah. Getting stuck on the collision boxes.